Hi everyone, welcome back to Mad About Cards and Crafts. This is a redo. One of my subscribers told me that my last video was stalling, so it must not have rendered properly. I watched it back and the first time and it ran well, but then after she told me that, I tried it again and it didn't. So back to my crafty things of 2020. These are the favorite things that I purchased. First up are these TI makeup brushes. This is how they come. This is the packaging. I purchased them at Amazon and I absolutely love them. They have worked really well for me. I love the fact that they fit well in my hand. They're great for large surfaces. So they come with this container. I put a dot on the top. I only have one for each color. So each color of the rainbow, I just purchased 3 more so that I have them to use with brown, black, and gray. They come out just like this. I love that they blend beautifully on large surfaces. As I said, they fit very well in my hand. They have a very soft brush, but I can get a really smooth blend without using Bristol Smooth cardstock, which is something that I like, so I can still use my Nina or anything that's a little bit less expensive. I do wash my brushes after each use, so you can see this is very clean. That way I don't have to have separate brushes for my oxides and for my dye inks. I just take them over to the sink. I rinse them out with water. If I see that there's some that's not coming out, then I'll add a little bit of soap to it. It takes just a few minutes for them to dry, or more than a few minutes, but by the next morning they're dry. So usually I do it at the end of every day. And yeah, these work really well. I purchased them on Amazon. They're probably about $3 less than some of the other ones that are on the market, which is why I decided to give them a try. And that is my first favorite crafty purchase. Next, this was a recommendation from Amber Rain. They are Some Wonder Forests by Dana Fox. This is a Canadian company, and it did take a couple of weeks to get these. They are currently out of stock until mid-January right now. This is the pack that includes the flat brush. The flat brush is perfect for putting water down and for doing large, wide strokes. What I love about these, I have used them and I love the packaging, so I keep them in the packaging. I have a command hook on my desk and I just hang them up. But the bristle is really soft, even though it is a synthetic. This is a 1-inch flat brush. And then the other brushes, let me open this one. Well, I should have my number 8 number 8 for some reason has been my favorite brush recently. This one is, this is a number 12, but what I like about it is, so here are the silver brush, no, not that, sorry. Here is the silver brush paintbrush, and these were the paintbrushes that I was using. This is squirrel hair. You can see that the water has taken off some of the finish on this, but look at the difference in the tip. So this comes to a very nice fine point, and it works really well for me as long as you don't keep it in the water. And I don't with these. These ones are squirrel hair, but I've had them for a very long time. I've probably had these for 4 or 5 years, and they have served their purpose. I will not get rid of them. I'll still use them, but this holds water really well. That fine point allows you to get into smaller spots, and I think that they are absolutely fantastic. All of the products that I am sharing with you will be linked in the description box below. Interestingly enough, there's only one affiliate link, and that's going to be for the next product that I share. Everything else is just purchases that I made that there's no affiliate links available. So anyway, I'll link everything below. Here we go with the Wonder Forest number 2. Next, if you've watched my channel for any time, you know I love my foam tape, and I absolutely love this scrapbook.com 1/4 inch foam tape. You can see how thin it is. I like the big roll. I know that there is another brand that people have been using that come in strips. I prefer this. You get more of it. It's very inexpensive when it goes on sale. I think that I got this for under $3 when it went on sale. You can buy them in 3 packs, which is what I ended up doing because it was so incredibly inexpensive, and they work so well on some of the little critters that I use. They get into I can cut it in half much easier than my X-Fasten tape, and I think that this was a fantastic purchase. Next is going to be my paper trimmer. This is the Stampin-Up paper trimmer. I do have the Tim Holtz guillotine trimmer, and I do love that trimmer, but it does not cut 12 by 12. It does not cut 8.5. So I do use this to create slimline cards if I'm not using a die. And this is a scoring blade, so I don't have to get a scoreboard out when I am using the trimmer. I can cut my paper and I can score it at the same time, which saves me a lot of time, and it cuts beautifully. I used to have, a long time ago, one of the wire trimmers that had the wire that helped you see where your lines were going to be cut, and it kept bending, and I wasn't getting straight lines. There's a well right here. There's no wire, and so I can see exactly through this section right here where I'm cutting, line everything up perfectly, and it has been a fantastic trimmer for me. It's about $25 over at Stampin' Up. Next, I got into stenciling this year, and I didn't pull one out to share with you, but I have been cutting my own stencils using this Dura-Lar paper. It is not too thick, not too thin, so it doesn't dull the blade if I decide to use it with my Cameo. I also can use it, as I said, with my dies. So with Cat Scrappiness, I have a diamond wire die that cut through this beautifully, and I use that to stencil on some of my slimline cards. So this is a product that I plan on using into 2021. As I said, I am loving stencils right now. Next, I have struggled with my Corinne markers, and some of my friends are really good with the Corinne markers and the Canson watercolor paper. I am not. I really struggle with it. And one of the things that I wanted to make sure that I use those markers because they're beautiful markers. It had nothing to do with the markers. It was the way that the water moves on the paper. And I've said this time and time again, I have really, there are things that Canson is good for, but for me, as being not a great watercolorist, I think I do okay. I need something that's a little bit more helpful for me, and this 100% cotton extra white watercolor paper, I saw Debbie Hughes use it, I saw Christina Werner use it, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a try. It's very pricey, but I skipped Oh my goodness, what's the other one that they sell at Michael's? I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, I skipped the other one that was recommended and went straight for this one. This is a huge pad. It's 20 sheets. It's 12 by 18, but what I liked about this big pad as opposed to the smaller one was that I could use it on slimline cards. So I don't, here we go. So as you can see, I can cut straight across here, and I'm going to get 3 slimline panels, or I can choose to cut it in an A2 orientation. One of the things about cold pressed paper is you're going to have a little bit more texture. That doesn't bother me. I used it recently on a card that's coming up, and you're going to see just how beautifully it worked out with this paper. So this was an expensive purchase, but for me, this is going to be well loved because I do love watercoloring. I haven't been doing it as much as I like. I tend to get stuck on mediums, so you're going to see a little bit more watercoloring coming up in the near future. All right. These are not my favorites. Okay, I'm going to preface this. I do not have a favorite, but I am on the slimline card bandwagon. I absolutely love all of the slimline dies. I love the ones from Whimsy Stamp. I love these from Cat's Scrappiness, Pink Fresh Studio. This is the very first one I purchased, LDRS Creative. I am on the bandwagon, and I love the extra real estate that I get to create scenes. I was never a great scene builder. I still don't think I'm a great scene builder, but I'm much better than I was previously with an A2 size card. I really struggled to fit my images in a cohesive manner onto an A2 card. I do love critter stamps. And so I just fell in love with the slimline cards. So any of the slimline dies, I am going to link several companies in the description box below, but any of those companies do have fantastic dies. This one has a scallop, and it also has the stitched edge plus all of the extra little pieces so that you can create windows and places for your critters to sit or your sentiments. So yes, slimline dies are definitely on my crafty favorites list. Next, as I said, stenciling has been a big thing for me this year. I'm trying to keep this out of the light and the glare, so my apologies for that little bit of glare, but I do need the extra light in my craft room. Pink Fresh Studio, hands down, Pink Fresh Studio was my favorite stencil company this season. I love the layered stencils, especially that have recently come out. This is a plaid stencil. There's 2 pieces. Here's the argyle. I'm going to be using this shortly, and I love the way that they work together. You can use them alone. Slimline cards, as I said, are some of my favorite cards to make. I am sharing tomorrow a slimline, or not a slimline card, an A2 size card where I still was able to use one of the Pink Fresh Studio stencils. So they are not just for slimline cards. You can use them on A2 size cards, and I think that they are fantastic. As you can see, I am not going to be jumping off the slimline bandwagon. So next I'm going to insert a picture here and just talk you through this. I ended up purchasing the Silhouette Cameo 4. I absolutely love it. I had the Silhouette Cameo 2 previously. Unfortunately, it died on me after much love, and I debated about whether or not I wanted to get another one. And I'm going to tell you why I chose to get another one. I was able to get it on sale, and I want to say it was somewhere around the $250 range. I do have the Brother Scan and Cut. But I was looking at Slimline Dies. I was looking at some of the envelope dies that had other dies in it, but still an envelope die at approximately $45 just for one die. And I thought, you know what? I can get more use out of a Cameo if I decide to purchase another one. So I did invest in the black Cameo 4, as you can see in this picture, and I love the multiple uses that I get out of it. So I can use it for vinyl, and I can use it to make t-shirts if I wanted to. I can, obviously the Silhouette Studio is a free download, so I still use it for my digital images and for pattern paper and things of that nature. So I put that on my list. I think that it's a fantastic machine. I would like to do the foil quill. I don't want to invest in the foil press. Either one of I have a Gemini, and you know, I could invest in that, but I don't want to invest in all of those dies. I think I may try the foil quill. I know that some of my crafty friends have used it, and if I'm going to go in that direction, I think that that would be the way for me to go personally, because I don't need more things in my craft room. That leads me to my final favorite purchase, which may surprise you. And it is going to be the Paper Studio colored cardstock. There's 25 colors in here, 4 each, 100 sheets. They are $19.99, but I always get them. So I just got this paper pad yesterday. I get them when they are half off. Paper Studio over at Hobby Lobby. I am making my envelopes with these. So it is just the right weight for an envelope. And when I was looking at envelopes online, of course, for a slimline card, you can certainly use the number 10 plain white envelopes, which are just fine. I like to do something that's a little fancier to put together with my slimline cards. So this is the design that I typically cut out using my Cameo, and it costs me 10 cents a card. So, you know, some of the cards that, or some of the dies are more expensive. Some of the envelopes, I was looking at the price, and when you broke it down, it was about 40 cents an envelope. And as I said, when I get this on sale, so this was $10, it's 10 cents an envelope for me to create a slimline card sized envelope. So I can narrow it down for a mini slimline, which is what I've done here. So I have a custom, I can just customize each of the envelopes. If I decide to go with small in between a mini and a large slimline, then I can adjust the sizes, which is what brings me back to the Cameo and why I absolutely love that. So thank you so much for watching. I plan to come back within the next few days. I would love to do a recap of 2020 and kind of talk about where we're going in 2021. And so I am going to try to film that video. I am going to edit this, re-render it, hope that it goes up nicely. Let me know if any of these crafty items were some of your favorites this year, if you've tried any of them. And I hope you all have a happy new year. If I have one video coming up tomorrow, but I do want to wish you a happy new year. And thank you so much for supporting my channel and watching. Have a fabulous day.